Okay, this is a very simple talk. Teaching Qigong to beginners. Yeah, long overdue. Sorry to some of the friends who I have promised since last year. A little bit about my history. I was actually a pharmacist, graduated many years ago, 1987, 1986, registered at the year of 1987. I started practicing in 1997, just having fun like most people. You practice maybe about half an hour here and then just to have fun. And I had a bad knee then, so I thought maybe that this would help. Well, the knee recovered substantially. So 15 minutes here and there, half an hour here and there, 3 times a week. Yes, you still get results. And then I started teaching in 1999 because in early 1999, I met a teacher from China. Somehow we clicked. And he was the one who pushed me to register a company and to start teaching. And I've been leading classes personally since 1999. Sometimes I think of it, I am quite what you call quite proud of it. I've done this thing for more than 20 years, more than 21 years, in fact. Yeah. And when you started to practice, you don't really, you don't really put in the effort to practice, you don't really feel the greatness, right? I'm talking about the great of Qigong. You will not get crazy. And once you get crazy, you go deeper and deeper and deeper into it. And I become more and more like what they call antisocial. Uh, I'm a pharmacist. We have talks. You know, you cannot advertise in Malaysia. You cannot advertise your medicine. So you can only throw parties to convince the pharmacists and the doctors that you are selling the best, right? So we have party every now and then, very frequent, something like 2 to 3 a month easily. Yeah. Then I stopped showing up in these parties, and people somehow they felt it. There's some of them they called me, and then they said, "Oh, this guy is now is a hermit now. Is antisocial, funny, so young, and then he turned that way. Sad story." But you see, I have a rule. I don't attend parties and all that on Tuesday and Thursday evening when I take the class. You say whatever you want, I don't. Are there exceptions? Yes. Yeah, only when I really find it necessary, then I don't take the class. Otherwise, I take the class personally. Why? It is very simple, because I enjoy taking the class. This is something that up until now, many teachers are not able to understand. I can tell you honestly that many people are not able to understand. It is not the fun alone, it is the greatness inside. It is not the greatness of, hey, look, I am the teacher. Huh? See, I brought you the sensation, I brought you the experience. No, nothing about that. Nothing about that. Yes, now and then you have those who have been watching my this Facebook or that, they'll probably understand. I don't talk so much about getting people healed. I mean, if you were to do something like me after 20 years, you also want to stop doing that, right? Until and unless it is necessary. Yeah, because people get healed. You know, they practice, they get healed. People come and then they get a private session, they get healed. I'm not talking about 100%, but the success rate is very high. Efficacy and what you call effective rate is very high. I always tell them this, up until today, there's not one patient I met in the middle of the street and yell at me, this guy is a hopeless fella. He cheated. He said that I could get well, but he did something that I did not get well. No. Okay. So why teach and why I'm encouraging you to teach. Because I believe you are going to experience the same thing that I have experienced, something that is very different. One of the main things is when you are teaching and you are able to put yourself down, right? Don't carry yourself as that much as a teacher, right? Just having fun with everybody. You will really feel what is holistic entity, what is holism, you know? Um, I mean, years ago, many years ago, we already felt that then when I'm hungry, many of them down there, they feel hungry because I used to stand on stage when I take the class. That was many years ago. Now I don't even stand on stage. I stand together with them. Yeah, everywhere I go is the same. So when I'm hungry, they feel the hunger. So I got to make sure that I'm not hungry before I take my class. You know, and then if I'm in good form, they are in good form. So I got to make sure that I'm in good form. Yeah, I don't go to parties partly because you had some good, what you call so-called good food, good drinks. The next day, let's say the next day is Tuesday, or the next day is Thursday, where I'm supposed to take a class. I don't feel good. I was playing squash competitively. Yeah. After graduation, you don't have the money, then you play for clubs. You know, so you don't have the money to join the clubs, but you play for them. You just don their jersey and then you play for them, so you can enter the court. Yeah, those were the years. Now, then you find that this playing games and all that, they affect your performance. Performance of what? Not the performance of Qigong, but the performance when you play, when you have fun with Qigong. So I stopped playing squash. So more people said that this guy has turned into a hermit. This guy is antisocial, right? But actually, I enjoy myself very much. I have new bunch of friends, you know, and those who understand me, they remain my good friends, my business partners, and all. They remain good friends after so many years. Yeah. Why teach again? You will discover many things if you were to genuinely just take it as something for fun, take it as something to understand what exactly is behind the field, what is behind what we call an entity, right? Holistic entity. You're gonna gain tremendously. Now, how to start teaching? Make sure legal aspects are fulfilled. I'm not in your country. So you have to find out whether there are any legal aspects where you are supposed to fulfill, right? Over here, simple. I need to register a company. You know, I have all the documents. I have been teaching at the university for 5 years. I even have the certificate from the universities to allow me to teach at the universities. 5 years. I quit last year because I find that I somehow found that I'm not doing well teaching those youngsters, you know, undergrads. But I'm glad that my friend is going to take over the class. Yeah. So number one, make sure legal aspects are fulfilled. Number two, do not push excessively. This is one problem that, you know, when you start taking class and all this, you have to watch out of injuries. At my place, we have a form where they're going to fill in, they're going to tell you that what are the major illnesses. Yeah. Over the years, I can pick up illnesses rather easily. Yeah. I mean, severe illnesses. So, but I understand that not many people are able to do that, particularly when you first started. Like me, when I first started, you're not able to tell whether this patient is having that problem or not. So the form helps tremendously, particularly heart problem. I have seen people who practice Qigong So I was sent to the hospital, and after that, the sister brought him to see me. Okay, and then I said, "What did you practice?" They said, "Oh, that evening I signed up for the class. I went in there, and then they started to do this Chinese shrug. So this is Chen Qi, Chinese shrug, shrugging. This guy doesn't speak Chinese well. They speak English well. So he said that this is Chinese shrug. I say, okay, this is called Chen Qi. And what happened? Then I started to sweat profusely. And then I have difficulty breathing. And then they say that this is good. So continue. Don't worry, the pain will go away. Just continue. Then he said, I was lucky in the sense that I did not lose my logical thinking. So I told my sister, you better take me to a hospital. So I went to the hospital. They said I had an angina attack. Now, I'm not here to, don't take it as I am here to frighten you or anything else. No, I'm not doing that. Otherwise, I wouldn't have this talk. What I'm saying is that be careful. Be very careful. I can tell you this, one patient or one student down in that class because of an angina attack or heart attack or whatever, more or less you can say that this class is gone. All the good work done by the teachers previously, all gone, right? So do not push excessively. What do you mean? Sweating profusely is a sign that the heart is losing control. This is the most important thing. Sudden death is all about heart attack, heart failure. I mean, kidney failure, it can last for years. All right, I go for dialysis. The kidney not working for 3 days is still alive. Liver also is still alive. Lungs fail, they don't fail 1, 2, 3, go. No, they don't. Only the heart. When they fail, they go. 1, 2, 3, go. Very, very fast. Yeah. So do not push excessively. It's always good to know whether they have any underlying illnesses. Right? When they're sweating profusely, even like doing Chen Qi, then there's something is wrong inside. Right? And most likely it is the heart. This is extreme case. There are also minor cases like people come in with rotator cuff problem, and then, oh, no worry, you just keep on doing the push pull and you'll be fine. No, it is not going to be fine. Why? You said, why are you saying this? At the center, when they were practicing, they had this rotator cuff problem. They have frozen shoulders, but after the practice, they got well. That's the center. You're talking about a place where 4,000 people were practicing together. How many in your class? 60, 100? And Dr. Pang was there at the center. You know how powerful was the chi field? My father went there. I've never been to the center. Never met Dr. Pang. I've never been to the center. The moment when I wanted to go, door already closed. Right? My father took his friends, a whole group of them there. That guy had a frozen shoulder. So they were queuing up at the center there. I mean, signing in, right? Checking in. So, and then wind blows. That old man, he's quite big. So he said, oh, he was carrying back with his left hand. So he normally used his left hand to comb because he can't lift his right hand. So then, oh, left hand carrying something else, reach for the comb. Then he stopped there. He told my dad, he said, look, my arm is okay. I can go home now. I don't have to sign in for any class. I came here because I have this problem. I can go home now. See? If you have that kind of chi field, that is okay. If you don't, then be careful, right? If there's a problem with the rotator cuff, settle the rotator cuff, right? And then you see the progress change rapidly. Yeah. Any injuries? All right. Some of them are still saying that, oh, you have some knee problem? Don't worry, do wall squat. That is the biggest problem. All right. Over here in Malaysia, I do not know what about the places where you all were what we call teaching. It is a knee problem. That means the meniscus are touching or whatever. All right. The space getting very narrow. Don't push it. If you snap it, you're going to, I don't know what to say. Yeah. So play safe. Do not push excessively. I routinely, even now, up until now, I mean, I see only what you call, most of the time, they do not come and see me until and unless they do not have a choice. So most of the time, I'm seeing patients that either the doctor said that, sorry, there are no more tricks for you, or sorry, I think you need a surgery. All right. When it comes to physical problems, 90% of them will come and see me. It's either because they are old customers, they trust me very much, or they are, you know, things like doctor say, sorry, you need a surgery on your shoulder. See, and on this thing, then we work on them. But there are cases that I have to tell them honestly that sorry, I'm not good enough to settle this. You got to go back to your doctor. You got to go back to your orthopedic surgeon. Yeah. So do not push excessively. This is important. Yeah. There seems to be a question or something. Happening to me, an injury, shoulder cuff, and no getting better and better doing stretching. Okay. Oh, thank you. Now, starting with something easy. What is the easiest? Easiest is La Qi. Simple La Qi, the conventional La Qi. But I can tell you honestly, this simple La Qi, well, we talk about simple La Qi also today later on. Yeah, it is not as effective as it seems. Yeah, always remember you are not it is not possible to recreate the history of having 4,000 people practicing at the center, of having one great man taking the class. Dr. Pang was taking the class, you know, and then those great healers, Pan Minghuan, Luo Ping, Wu Shuxiang, Ling Songbai, all these, they were the so-called tumors healer. Many of them, they are gone. They are no longer around. See, you don't have this kind of people anymore. So even if you start a class of 4,000 people, can you get Dr. Pang to take the class? See? So this is something that we say that we got to be careful, all right? Now, start with something easy. What is the easiest? Over here, we're trying to recommend you Big La Qi. We'll talk about it later on, yeah? Pay attention to formation of chip field. Now, this is something that I mean, it's good. They have a problem. They come and see you. You teach them this. They go back. Then after 2 weeks or 3 weeks or 4 weeks or 1 or 2 months, they come back again, same problem. And many times, these are minor problems that I can tell you that the moment they go back to the blue sky, problem gone. Yes, many times they have a lot of frustration and all that. They do not understand the importance of getting well, getting acquainted, befriend the blue sky. You know, how much do you know blue sky? How much do you know blue sky? Can you look up to the blue sky until you close your eyes? You experience that the blue sky is looking at you. Try it. When was the last time you looked at the blue sky? I mean, I know practice is one thing. Yeah. I don't look up the blue sky that frequently. But I can tell you this, I close my eyes, the blue sky is in there. I want it to be there, it will be there. I've spent many, what you call days, hours into this thing, right? In ancient days, they call it 空蓝来里. That means the empty blueness is getting inside of me. But I don't explain much about this. Yeah, try this. This is simple, but it is very, very powerful. I shared Lachi with some friends. One of them almost cried. Another said she cried when doing Lachi on her own at home. I guess I should ask them to look at blue sky often. Now, without having a look at your friend, more or less I can tell that she has tons of emotional problem trapped inside. Whether you ask her to look up to the blue sky or doing this open close, all right, most likely tears are going to come out. Yeah, there's no harm for her to do lachi. All right, are you talking about big lachi or the small one? Ira, are you talking about the big lachi or the small one? Yes, the big one is much more effective than the small one. Now, since you asked, one very important trick before and after. What happened before and what happened after? Very, 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 very few people pay attention to this. Serious. What happened before and what happened after? Probably only in our class that we talk about this. What happened before and what happened? What happened before you practice and what happened after you practice lift chi up? This is important. What happened before you practice big lachi? What happened before after you practice big lachi? Ask them to pick up the difference. All right? And you can start them slow. I can tell you this, all my clients, those who come in with tons of emotional problem, 10 open close 3 times a day. Only 10. What? You're crazy. In the class, you ask us to do 45 minutes. Yeah, you're in the class, you're different, you're senior, you are good. See? You can give them a lower dose. Even in 10 open close, they can tell it clearly. All right? Now, in your case, Ira, you have gone through level 1, you have gone through module 1, you have gone through module 2. How are you going to help her to settle her emotional issue? Make use of the 5 elements. You see? Start slowly. It's your friend. Talk to her. Yeah? Okay. So this is one area that I found many teachers are not what I call making good use of. It's free of charge. You know, blue sky is free of charge. All right. And what is behind blue sky? Magnanimous. When they talk about magnanimous, can you get something like that? No. Yeah, there are many things in the blue sky. Okay. Losing balance is a common problem. How do we settle losing balance? Okay. This is one issue that also I think has been very commonly neglected. We do it the Chinese style. Huh? Start with a picture on your right. Okay, the man is standing with the knees bent. He's not doing 3 centimeters measure. Okay. Now, let's say the arms are in front. So let's say he's doing 3 centimeters because I can't find a good photograph. What's wrong with the posture? This is a question. And this is a very common mistake. It is just standing. The feet can be close together, the knees can be straightened. What do you see from the picture? What is the problem? Hello, this is a question? No. The balance. What's wrong with the balance? The head is going back. The vertical line is diagonal. Yes, the chin. And I was told by a good friend that many teachers insisted this way, that you should look straight to the front horizontally. You should look straight to the front, but then it shouldn't be horizontally. I mean, all through my career of more than 20 years, I only met 2%. I only saw 2%. I met 1%. Okay, who is able to look out horizontally and yet without any problem. Okay, you can only do that when your bai hui down to your coccyx has already formed a straight line. The one that I met is Do Zhan Guo. The one I've seen is Dr. Pang's photograph many years ago. Yeah. So this is not something that on day one you can do that. In the book, that's the reason why I kept stressing on the fact that apply logical thinking. In the book, it says that you should look out, horizontally and all that, which is wrong, very wrong. Not just wrong, very wrong. When you stop the flow here, you stop the flow throughout the whole body. I have to wait. I got to. Yeah. So this is problem number one. Problem number two. Okay, go to the big lachi. What is the purpose of big lachi? Again, this is a question. What is the purpose of big lachi? Open your lungs, calm the mind, to relax, open up the whole body. Yes, all correct. What is the purpose of having the arms spread out? So that I fake myself as a big bird. Feel open, feel heart open. And hence the opening and closing, yes. I have found that many of them in the class, they don't understand the mechanism behind. Probably our mistake, I did not explain this clear enough. When you are doing this, and when you are doing this, there is a difference, right? You can practice it on your own, and you will be able to tell the difference. This one, the small one, it is more concentrated on the core. And many times, it's actually concentrated on the outside. You feel very good on the outside. Not many people are paying attention to these details. What we want you to really experience and feel is inside. All right. Sometimes some of them they'll argue with me. They say, "No, Mr. Wing, you're wrong." No. Like the other gentleman I met the other day. No, Mr. Wing, I can feel it a lot inside. Okay, I don't want to argue. See, but when you do it this way, this one open close is to make exchange with the outside world. This type of exchange is small. This type of exchange is huge. You get what I mean? The moment you do it this way, shoot, you can feel like it's shooting out. You do it this way, you feel it concentrating. There's a difference, right? So when we ask you to do this, you do this. When you ask you to do this, you do this. They are not the same. They are not the same. Now, the taste of the pudding is in the eating. But sometimes your taste buds are not catching up well enough. You get what I mean? So you got to spend some time, dig deeper. All right? You do this 10 minutes, and then you do this 10 minutes. You see the difference? Yeah. Okay. Now, another point, the La Qi. All right. Many are still doing La Qi this way. How you should do your La Qi? Leading with the elbows. Even when we are talking about a small one. I mean, if you are here, of course, you how to lead with the elbows? You can't, right? Logical. But particularly when you are doing small ones, okay? The taste of the pudding is in the eating. You do it yourself. You lead with the elbows, and then you lead with your hands. You see the difference. One, the chi is outside. One, the chi is inside. It's much clearly inside. Yeah, this one, the story behind it very long. I think we're not able to go through that one. Very long story. Yeah, is about the martial art. This is from martial art. Yeah, so okay. So when you were able to do this, you are going to feel it deeper inside. And when you are able to synchronize with your breath, the effect become bigger. So when you are doing this, when you're doing the open, close, and doing the breathing, the effect is different. It's deeper, stronger. Yeah. So this is the common mistakes in what you call big lachi on open, close. Now let's see further. This one is an important issue. Look at the top half of the slide. Yeah. So we say that you stand with the feet close together. All right. You turn your feet and one to the front. Many people have problem with this. So what do? You can do it the one on the far right, right? You have a feet separated a little bit, turn this way, you know, and one to the front. When you're standing this way, you will have better balance. Yeah. Even in lift chi up, right? Don't be so religious. I mean, some people, many of them, they are treating this Qigong like a cult practice. No, you cannot do it. I was talking to a friend. I said, do you realize that where do you get this push-pull from? Where did you get it? Anyone can tell me where Dr. Pang, this push-pull is founded on which practice? This is the signature movement of Zhenan Qigong, right? Yes, everybody knows. I mean, you look into body mind form, you have push the mountain, you look into standing meditation, you have a big horse, and you have this and that, but you can see all these exercises in many other forms of Qigong. Standing meditation, Xing Yi Quan, they have whatever the style that you're talking about, and there are many there, all right? Hun Yuan Zhuang, all these, they're standing there, right? Push the mountains, how many from Ermei has one, this neck movement also, yeah? But this one, push pull, this one is actually extracted from soaring crane, also designed, created by Dr. Pang. But in soaring crane, you practice with your feet separated. Okay, with the feet separated. Now, Dr. Pang did not say much about the practice of this push-pull in soaring crane time. Soaring crane is he has already given soaring crane to somebody else, so we do not want to talk much about it. But soaring crane, the practice has some problem. The standing meditation had some problem back in 1980s, and Dr. Pang corrected the practice. Yeah, that was back in 1985, I think 85, yeah, something like that. And he did not change the position of this feet thing, right? And don't sometimes some people they get over jealously technical into, oh, if you don't close this, you're going to lose your chi that way. My goodness, where in the lectures or text that mention something like that? No. See, no. I mean, this one you're going to get a better wholeness. That's it. But if this client come in, if they're able to have their feet together and they're going to lose their balance, they have to consciously managing their movement throughout the practice. This is going to be damaging. How to enjoy? When you can't even stand properly, you are swaying here and there, shaking here and there. How are you going to enjoy the practice? See? So logical thinking again. In Big Lachi, we have one in front, one in the back. Now, Big Lachi, where do you get the Big Lachi? Big Lachi, actually, the movement is from Xing Yi Quan. All right? But the movement is from Xing Yi Quan. I'm not talking about the requirement behind it. It's different. That one is people's stuff. We copy the movement. That's it. Yeah? So, logical thinking again, getting balance. Yeah. The same thing if they are not able to have one foot in front, one foot in back, they have to have their feet together. Now, you understand when the feet together is like this, when the feet are together, like, separated a little bit, and then they can still be parallel. But if the feet are separated far out, you can't have them parallel. You're gonna they're gonna tense up the whole body, all right? And then it has to be something like in the picture. Big Lachi, the movement came from Xing Yi Quan, it's martial art. Okay, or Da Cheng Quan, Xing Yi Quan, somehow back in 1960s or something, they branched out. Yeah, Xing Yi Quan. Or Da Cheng Quan. Okay, this is one aspect. We can only cover things that we see commonly. Now, then sometimes you get a question about people asking that, can you tell me what are the levels within this and that? All 6 positions of the feet shown on the picture are correct. Yes. Yes. All the positions are correct. Now, the best one is when you can have your feet together and then you separate and then you go this. All right? But if they are going to lose the balance, then don't. You let them have it separated. How far away? It can be 1 foot apart. It can be half a foot apart. Sometimes half a foot apart is already good enough. Then you go like this. Yeah? And then if you were to, some of them, they practice with their feet, not one in front, one at the back. Particularly, some of them, they have very a big issue with their hip joints. Yeah. Then you ask them to have their feet together, or even they can sit down. They can sit down and practice. Yeah. And then when they are having the feet together, well, like this is the best because you get the whole thing well connected together. If you put it this way, well, this is, they can balance this way, that's good. But if they are wider apart and you insist that they have their feet parallel to each other, then that is not scientific because it's going to be very strenuous to the knees, to the lower limbs. Yeah, okay. Frequent question is that, okay, now let's say I started with Big Lachi. What do you think about the second thing? Now, the second thing can be Tai Chi Ball 1, all right? It can be Tai Chi Ball 1. It can be lift chi up. It's up to you. But my personal opinion is that Tai Chi Ball is one exercise that has been very, very much overlooked. Okay, many people like to jump into Tai Chi Ball 2 because it's 2 balls. 2 is better than 1, and then they get injury. If you listen to the lecture correctly by Dr. Pang, somewhere when he talked about Tai Chi Ball 2, he said that, I'm not asking you all to teach this one, Tai Chi Ball 2. He said, you got to practice it until you know it well enough, then you go and teach. Don't ask me which lecture, all right? I I still have very good memory, but I'm lazy to pick up where exactly that was said. Then my personal experience is that many people, they like this. Yeah. Most of those that I've seen on screen doing this, wrong. Serious. The wholeness is simply not there, right? Your arms are moving. Your lumbar are not moving. You see, your lower limbs are not moving. See, you only move your upper arms. Sure, you get into a problem. You get into conventional Tai Chi practice problem of moving the upper body, not the lower body. And you get injury. You get hyperpressure, right? And most common, they get rotator cuff problem. Yes, they get rotator cuff problem. Anyway, we're not here to point fingers. Huh? So going back to Tai Chi Ball 1. There are many things that's hidden in Tai Chi Ball 1. Okay, I do not want to talk so much about it. Just briefly telling you certain things. That the meridian system, a natural part of our body. Do you realize that in level 1, level 2, level 3 of Zhejiang Qigong, we try to avoid the meridian system? We move qi perpendicular to the body. Okay, you do this, what you call separate fingers, yeah? The body mind form where you separate your fingers and you flex your wrist that way so that you stimulate the negative meridians and all that, right? You do bend body arch back, you stretch your urinary bladder channel so much. What do you do at the end? You do tapping. Why do you do tapping? You send qi across the meridians to disperse the qi. See, we are trying to move qi perpendicular to the body. Level 1, 2, 3, the same thing. But then, when you come to Tai Chi Ball 1, you are moving onto orbits. You're moving onto orbits. That's a reason why people feel it very rapidly. This is one thing. You know, the practitioners, they feel it very rapidly. The first time I pick up the ball to practice Tai Chi Ball, I could feel it completely. Serious. You know? And so this is one, the meridians. Everyone has it. So your students are going to feel it quite clearly. See? But then this practice was pushed into the market quite rapidly, or rather that the center had not did not get sufficient time to test it out. It is not like lift chair body mind form. How many people practice? Millions. Tested, proven, safe. Tai Chi Ball came out only 1 year. Center closed. Right? Nobody wants to practice Tai Chi Ball. Everybody likes 2 balls. 2 balls looks much beautiful. Yeah. You know. Then in Tai Chi Ball, there are certain exercises that are tricky or not very safe, like the head movement. I am a therapeutic massage specialist. Okay, so I know what is good, what is bad, right? And the head swirl, and then moving the ball up and down in the head exercise. This one is tricky. Moving the ball up and down, turning the head. That one is risky. Right? Those who have a neck injury, they shouldn't try this. So if you take out that exercise, that is one exercise, right? And then there's one side twist, right? You turn your body sideways and turn the ball, right? And at the end of this side twist, you one push to the back, 3 pushes to the back, and then reverse 3 pushes again. That one is extremely tricky, right? The exercise itself is safe. Side twist is safe, but that push back is tricky. You find yourself spending a lot of time trying to teach that one, all right? So when we were teaching at the university, we don't teach that one. Yeah, and then ball rolling. Ball rolling is actually high level of martial arts stuff. So when you attack, it is no longer, no longer that you're going out with a punch or anything else. All right. They are going out with the whole body. So the arms, the hands, they are taking the whole body. This is the one that is taking the whole body. So this ball rolling is tricky. And if you're not able to have your lumbar loosen, you're not going to get the good results. So 1, 2, 3, these 3 exercises, the first one, the neck one, turning the head one, you can take it out. And then side twist, the pushback is confusing. You can take it out. And then ball rolling, it's tricky and demanding. You can take it out. The rest, they are fun. They are fun. They are easy and they are good. Yeah. The problem with the practice is that you need a ball. You need a ball. That's a problem. You can't. Many people find that it's not easy to travel with the ball. Yeah, that's the only problem. You need a ball. And some people, they are very meticulous with their hands. They are very particular. They don't want to touch the ball. Then that will be a little bit difficult. Yeah. I hope that you take a look at Tai Chi ball. Yeah. And I'm quite sure those of you who have been practicing regularly, even these 3 centers must have half an hour daily, you would be able to pick it up on day 1. You will pick up the effect on day 1. You feel it day 1. A few words about the depth of practice, right? Some people say that, can I just do this big lachi alone? What do you think? The depth of this big lachi is about what? It's external hunyuan, right? It's making exchange with the outside world. The depth of it is not as strong as lift qi. That I'm very sure, right? Because the involvement of the gates, we call it gates, show the elbows, are not there, are not that much in this big lachi. Okay, but this big lachi is a much more efficient than small lachi, the conventional one that where you lead with your hands. Okay, yeah, we are talking about teaching beginners. You want to teach 3 sentence merge, you know well enough. Yeah, 3 sentence merge, I think all of you know well enough. You can introduce slowly, but if you let them have fun first, all right, feel a lot of this first before you introduce them something challenging, they are going to love you more. And they're going to love the practice more. Yeah. Now, this Tesla Scalar generator. This is one device I have been, I was warned about devices since many years ago. So many devices in the market, I have some basic knowledge in them. Yeah, I mean, partly because I'm a pharmacist. Now, this device is something is invented by Nikola Tesla. Yeah, true genius. This one is a really powerful genius. Now, so when 2 identical waves meet, they're going to cancel off each other. Theoretically, you don't have any wave, right? So this is something like what we call a noise cancellation headphone. Yeah, you plug in, then you don't hear outside noises because they send out something else that is just identical to it, but opposite. The wave pattern is opposite. You have one wave pattern like this, you have one wave pattern like this. When they meet, they cancel off each other, right? But Nikola Tesla said, no, you still get something out of it, all right? Then the scalar wave. The scalar wave is something that is very powerful. I'm not going to go through the technical aspect. I can send you all the website, the link to the website and all that, where you can read. Now, I was very glad that last year, somewhere around June or something else, Irma in Holland introduced me some device similar to this one. I saw it immediately. I told her, "You get me one unit. I'll pick it up when I'm there." Okay, it was 990 euros or 1,000 euro. I cannot remember. Okay, I went there and brought one and brought one home. My son is an engineer, right? Multimedia engineer means they look into this designing amplifiers, all this thing. So he looked at it and he said that he can make something much better than this one. So he designed and maybe got something like this now. And I've sent some units to Irma. She was very pleasantly surprised that this one is much powerful than the previous one. Okay. Okay, cut the story short. Huh? What it does is that it pulls you into the middle. The device is going to pull you into the middle. What is middle? Those who have done module 2, they will understand that is before the eruptions of emotions. That is the middle state. The device is able to pull you into that state. What do you do when you practice Qigong? You try to go deep into that meditative state. What is the ultimate meditative state? That is that state at the middle. The device is able to pull you to the middle, right? And it is extremely useful for leading a class. Yeah. But what is the problem with the device? The problem with the device, number one, is the cost. I've sent one to friends in Italy. She switched it on, and then the boyfriend, who is not practicing much, got a shock. He said, "Oh, what is this? Wow, this is good." Immediately she said that I want this. Yeah. I've sent it to a friend in New York. She's very sensitive. She bought one and bought two. Eventually she bought four. Yeah. This is a costly device. We are trying our best to bring down the prices. Now, it's retailing at $490 to all those who, all our participants, 490 euros. You just need to have the device next to you. When I've tried many things, I can afford to try many things when I have 5 or 6 units at home, right? So I found that when taking the class, it is very easy. The device, this device, it has a reach of 15 to 20 meters. 15 to 20 meters. But you don't have to do it that way. Let's say like the hall is 30 meters, then I need two. One here, one at the end. No. Just one next to me, that's good enough. Somehow, I'm going to tap onto the information. I'm going to tap onto the wave, and then I'm going to send it to all in the class. That's how useful it is. We designed it in such a way, my son designed it in such a way, the antennas can be removed, yeah, for shipping, for mobility and all that, yeah. We are retailing it at 490 euros to all those who are attending our courses. Outsiders is 890 USD. If you are interested, you let me know. Okay, this unit is mobile. You can use it can be powered by a power bank. You know, the power bank for your handphone. You can carry anywhere, and power bank can last for more than 20 hours. Oh yes, pulls you to the middle. That means Whether you like it or not, at birth, we were at the middle. Remember? And as we grow up and all that, we learn many things, and then we get into that way of not able to stay in the middle. We are no longer at the middle, all right? How big is the device? This big or this small, right? This is removable. I can remove this easily. Yeah. So when we ship, we can ship it that way, and you can carry it anywhere. The problem with this thing is that because of, we actually had the units done beginning of the year or somewhere around February, but then because of COVID-19, we cannot ship anywhere until lately. Yeah. How much? It is 490 euros per unit. We take care of the shipping. Yeah. It is something very interesting, serious. I'm exploring together with some friends, the application of this into many other things. Yeah. Including information therapy, but we have to be very careful about this. Yeah, cannot say anything that is not supported, not well documented. Yeah. Yes, you can be a reseller also. We give you a good discount as a reseller. Like Irma is our reseller. Amanda is also our reseller. Yeah. I can tell you this, more or less, I have never seen anyone who did not find it useful. I've never seen anyone who did not find it useful. Even my son, who is not sensitive, he could feel the effect. He designed it because I asked him to design it. He went through all the papers and all, so he designed something slightly different than what we have seen, what we have bought from Netherlands. Yeah. Okay. Any question that you have about the practice? This Tai Chi Bo thing actually is rather. I am actually quite confused or quite lost. Why Tai Chi Bo did not catch up? When I was in Germany, I was teaching this, and I found that why. One of the reasons is because you need a ball. Those who said he found that the mind is clearer. Now, there's one thing for those who are emotional, people who are emotional, you have to expose them, or you have to ask them to expose themselves to the device. They're going to get an emotional reaction. I've seen at least 2 or 3 cases. They are going to get into emotional reactions. We have a case of a child, but this is only one case, so I'm not going to, I can't say much about this. We exposed the child gradually, right? And then positive results were seen, despite the fact that the child was already on information therapy. Yeah. Okay, but when you are taking them into what you call practice, dynamic practice, let's say you practice lift chair, switch on the device, or do big lachi, you switch on the device. They only feel the goodness. They don't have any problem like this emotional reaction or whatever. No. They only feel that the chi field is better, more refined. Oh yes, I'm recording this session. Any questions? No question, then we have to say goodbye. If you have any question, you can always email me. right? I maintain that, well, number one, I'm not a Qigong emperor. I, I hope that, I hope that more of you can have fun with Qigong practice. Yeah. And teaching is one of the ways to have fun with Qigong practice. Okay. If you want to know more about this Tai Chi ball, that is easy. You want to talk about Tai Chi ball, it is something like I have a book that's available on my website. You write to me, I send you the link, right? If you want to attend the upgrading courses of Tai Chi ball and all that, you can contact Irma or Basie. Okay, thank you all. Bye bye. Any problem?
I have a question. Yeah, I have a question.
Yes.
I've been teaching for about 3 years now, and I find that when I have older people start to practice Qin and Qigong, I mean, like 80 years old, they feel really tired. Is that because they relax so much, or how can I help them?
Okay. Number one, what do you ask them to practice?
Just Chi field and Lachi. That's all. And
What kind
they
of lachi?
just simple Lachi. I didn't know the big Lachi.
Okay. Now, there's one very common issue about lachi is that when you are doing lachi, you are actually working on the qi surrounding you. You would realize that when you ask older people to do lachi, they tend to do it this way. Am I right? Yes or no?
Yes. Yes.
Why? Because they can't feel qi. They are weak. The qi surrounding them is very, very little. You get me?
Okay.
So you don't get a very good results in doing this. If they can, if you ask them to do this, synchronize with breath, they will get a better result. Why? Because when they synchronize with the breath, there's a stronger exchange. This one, it is number one more on outside, and because they can't feel it, so they're just doing this way, right?
Okay.
And
Yeah.
sometimes I ask them to do plenty of abdominal massage.
Okay. Yeah. That I was
Yeah.
thinking about that too. Okay.
Okay.
Okay. Thank you so much.
Any more question?
And about Tai Chi Ball, are you planning to teach, to give any course on Tai Chi Ball?
I think Irma and Basie, they may intend to have a class on that. All right. It's very simple.
Yes.
I have too many things on my plate for now. I have to complete what I want to do within this year, and already behind time. Those of you who have been practicing regularly, you can. I'll send you the website on this Tajipo. Take a look at that, all right? And then I'm quite sure you feel it immediately. Then if you are looking into the upgrading class of this or whatever, then you can contact Irma or Basie. Okay?
Okay. Thank you.
Yeah. Taiji ball also is useful I mean, if they are still able to turn the ball, old people, if they're still able to turn the ball, they're going to find that this is useful. Another thing about Taiji ball that is not revealed is this is actually reflexology. Working on a ball, this makes the difference between a human and an animal. You have plenty of information here, human information. Okay. Okay. Bye bye for now. I'll send you. I don't know. I'm not too familiar to write on the chat here. I can't remember my own website's name. Okay. And Bo has a book and a DVD also. Yeah. In the what you call in the DVD and all that, we said you try to turn the ball with the palm. Yeah, you turn it with your palms. But for old people, as long as the palm is attached onto the ball, they use their finger. It still works. It works well. All right. And particularly when you are taking them. Those of you who are sensitive, I mean, you don't even have to be sensitive. Those of you who have sufficient internal chi and all that, you will understand. Those of you who have been to what you call reflexology, you know it. And they are working on your feet, you feel it, right? When you're working on the palms, you feel it. So when you are rubbing your palms onto a ball, you're going to feel it throughout the whole body. You see, I'm not sure why there's so many things of in the lectures and all that. Probably because time constraint. Like I said, this practice came out less than 6 months later. The center has to close. Yeah, and back in early 2000s, people were practitioners of Zhen Qigong were actually pitting this conventional level 1, 2, 3 with Tai Chi Ball 1 and SLS. Only in recent years that this thing is not so common. Those days, some teachers, they would say, no, that is not the real one. This one is because of the center has to be closed, and Dr. Pang need to do something related to Tai Chi so that the center can go on, and which is nonsense. All right. Taste of the pudding is in the eating. Try it. Antonius, thank you. Yeah, that's the website. I'll send an email to you all. Okay. Bye-bye for now.
Bye-bye. Thank you.
Thank you.